That is where positive parenting comes in. I feel that to empower a child, it takes an empowered parent. It's very, very important that we focus on how important the process is than the product itself.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Couch, where we are putting the therapist on the couch to understand and unravel and break down everything that we don't understand about mental health, about therapy, and getting really unfiltered conversations to know what exactly is happening in this world, right? And today we have someone who's also going to touch a bit on an expressive modality, which is our art modality. It's being talked about a lot, and we're also going to break that down. So let's dive in. I have Ankita with me. We've known each other for quite some time now. She's been with MindPeers, and I really adore her for the kind of work she does, the genuinity, authenticity that she brings to the table. Welcome, Ankita.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here.
Likewise.
I think let's dive into the fact to first understand who is Ankita.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Kanika. So I'm Ankita Kumari and I'm a counseling psychologist. I carry around 8+ years of experience as a psychologist, and I feel that this field has taught me a lot more, and more so also made me a better person. I'm specializing in a lot of modalities like art therapy, expressive arts, EFT, that is emotional freedom technique, cognitive behavioral therapy, REBT, that is rational emotive behavioral therapy, NLP also, that is neuro-linguistic programming, and so on. I feel the reason why upskilling yourself really helps is because there are so many clients with so many different concerns, and everybody has such different expectations. That also leads me to understand that to understand and to make a safe space for each one of the clients, it's important to upskill yourself at all times in as many modalities as you can.
Possible, yeah.
I have worked extensively with young adults and adolescents, and I think that has led me to also have exposure to the diverse cultures and backgrounds and the concerns that they've been facing. I specialize a lot in art therapy and expressive art, so that really works well with children. And recently I've started noticing the shift that has happened in the past few years of how these days Gen Z population and the teenagers have a lot more concern, and the intensity of it is a lot more high, which wasn't the case earlier. And I'm glad that even when that age group is not able to come out of the shells and express themselves, art really provides them that modality where even by being in a space of letting their emotions out and not knowing how and what is limiting them, they realize that how many fears they carry, how many apprehensions they have, and where is it coming from, and how they can lead themselves to have their own vision, and it should not be influenced by what the community has implanted in their heads. Their resilience capacity also over time, I feel that is going down, and the coping style is a bit unhealthy.
What a paradox that is, no?
Yes,
that the resilience is going down, even though we have been talking so much more about mental health.
Exactly. And the sad part is that because we have so much exposure, I think it has a lot of benefit, but at the same time side effects, because people do not know of which is the right space and where is the right space and who to seek and how to seek help. And even if I think that this particular age group has a lot of courage, but they may not also know that what is most suitable for them, and that is where positive parenting comes in. I feel that to empower a child, it takes an empowered parent. It's very, very important that we focus on how important the process is than the product itself. And we sometimes so inclined to create an outcome that is suitable to you and is somewhere inclined to what you wanted out of the child, that we don't realize what are the ambitions of the child, what is the perception of the child, what is the self-image that the child has created for themselves. And that has led me to focus a lot more on positive parenting. I make sure that the first session I have is always with the parents.
Is it?
Yes.
That's in the case of adolescents that we're talking
about. Yes, for below 18. And when I sit down with the parents, I've realized that because parents also are not trained, they're also coming from a space where they say that, we are referring to our own background, we are referring to how we were brought up.
The limited knowledge that we had to do something.
And we were beaten up sometimes, we were scolded sometimes, and we used to let it go. So we also come from that space that it's not going to impact our children at all. And it's important that they also are flexible in having that conversation transparently, because I've noticed that there's a lot of resistance in accepting, if at all, their children are facing concerns. Confidence issues, especially body image issues, self-esteem issues, all of this is so prevalent these days, and social media influence is at the bar. So I feel that if a parent realizes that their role as a parent is the most powerful role, and how that can create a very significant impact in not just a child's life, but the life around the child too, then that is already 50% of the job well done in creating a better world. So yeah, that's my perspective.
So Ankita, let's say that if we have a set of young parents, millennials coming in today, and because you deal with children as well, what are some of the core thought processes or let's say values that you would relay to them that, hey, this is what positive parenting can look like? Because I know, for example, a lot of my friends who have now become parents, they're struggling with it.
Yeah.
You know, I know previous generation parenting was very different because, like you said, limited resources, didn't know what was right, what was wrong. And that has had an impact on our generation. Like till date, I know a lot of things that I go through is because of how my childhood went, or what my parents imbibed in me, or how they communicated, like you said, with each other, right? But let's say now when we are saying that it ends with us, and a great parenting also begins with us. Right?
Definitely.
What would you say would that look like?
I'd say it's very significant to understand what a safe space is and how you can create that in your own home space. There is a possibility that your opinions may not match with your children. There is a possibility that the dreams and the ambitions that you have from your children may not match. Your expectations are not being fulfilled. But it's important to accept that not every day will you leave that room of your child with a sense of fulfillment. Sometimes it's okay to fail also and realize that you also face so many disappointments in your own life and your parents did not know how to deal with it. Having said that, you also do not know. But to be transparent with a child in this particular generation is the most important thing. To sit down with them and to let them know that, you know, I do not know what is the best way to deal with this, but Penny, can you please tell me what are your expectations? And we also, like, parents are a lot more open now, flexible too. But at the same time, they feel that giving everything or providing everything to the child in terms of resources is what matters and what parenting is like. And if they are able to do that, they are successful as a parent and they're doing the best job possible. That is coming from a very good intent, probably a very positive one. But at the same time, I've noticed that most of my children, the ones who I'm counseling at the moment, they often tell me that the quality time, how I define it is that there is no instruction, there is no scolding, there is no guideline. It's only an expression or form of love. That hardly is being paid attention to in the home space. Because every single time when you're sitting with your parents, it's either watching a movie together, or why are you not studying, or let me help you plan a schedule, or what are you wanting to do after college or after school. All of that always puts a child in a state that, okay, there are conditions to how I'm going to be appreciated, praised, accepted, and loved. And that leads a child to go into the shell and not be transparent with their parents. So whatever you want and however you want your child to treat you, I think what will be that one thing that a positive parent can take away or bring in themselves is that treat your child the same way. Offer respect just the same way you expect. Model the behavior that you expect. You cannot think like an authority and expect them to treat you like a parent.